Hello, good evening, everyone. So let's start this meet. I extend a warm welcome to you all present here. I'm Mohammad Saqib Shakil, Event Manager of IEEE GMI, and I'll be your host for today's session. So before we begin, I'll read out a few guidelines which you all are expected to follow. If you have any questions during the session, okay. Uh, so I'll read out few guidelines which you all are expected to follow. If you have any questions during the session, please type them in the chat box. Our team member will read them out. Please keep yourself muted to maintain the decorum of the event. In today's session, IEEE CSJMI is collaborating with Google developer groups. The session is on UI UX, and we have with us Aryendra Prakash Singh, who is the Chief Secretary at Golgotia Student Council, UI UX designer and ambassador at ADP List. And we have Vanshita Singh, a UI UX designer, Google DSC lead, and a graphic designer. Now, I would request the speakers to start their presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sharing my screen.
Vanchita, we had the next slide. Yes. Yeah. So, hello everyone. This is Aryendra Prakash Singh. I'm currently pursuing my final years in bachelor's, and I'm also a full-time UI UX designer at Punjin. I have been pursuing designs from my very first year. Just a quick audio check. Am I properly audible?
Yeah, you're
Vanchita?
audible, Aryan.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're audible.
one second,
Okay.
let me mute myself first. Yeah.
Yeah. So today we are going to learn a few basics on how to get started with design and why basically getting into design, how getting into design, and the most essential part, getting professionally into design through UI or UX. So let's begin with the session first. So, keeping it very quick, what you will learn today, the basics would be the getting started with design, then the Figma basics, and then we'll have like hands dirty on Figma. So, for all those who don't know about Figma, Figma is one of the most amazing designing and prototyping tools, and it's one of the most diverse platform, I would rather say, and its usability is far better than Adobe XD or Sketch or like any like competitor in the market. So Figma is something very exciting. So you learn about it more in deeply when we'll move further. Next, yeah. So getting started with design. So when we think about getting starting into design, what like there are some basic principles or there are some basic structures that we think that are very important for us, and that we may neglect at some point of our lives. But when we start designing practically, when we start getting into design professionally, or you may say artistically, then we may need to follow the principles which are basically very essential for designs. So when you are accustomed to your principles, you are very you can follow them easily, and you can make your designs better by just following these particular principles. By just knowing these basics, you can hunt for the treasure that you really want, and gonna make some good designs. So the first of them is like the color theory and the palettes. So it's very essential thing in a visual. It basically revolves around how your color is to going impact users. The users are very important aspect of a product. So unless and until there are no users, there won't be any product. So if you are using your colors to manipulate a user's mind, if you're using colors to emotionally attach, emotionally touch, or psychologically touch the connect with the user, then your color theory would work a lot. Like when you, just a quick example, when you think about something foodish, basically Swiggy or Zomato. So you go and just think about something yellowish or reddish, which is meaning something spicy or something like tasty, something sort of. So that immediately something yellowish or reddish comes into your mind, because that's the most common and most connecting colors regarding the design, the app, or like the food items. So that's how the color theory works. We tend to use the same colors which psychologically connects with your product and the users as well, so that the users are more familiar by using the product and are more comfortable in going with the flow. So color theory and palettes work like this. Palettes are basically a set of colors which are assigned, basically generated or assigned according to the demand of the user or demand of the product. So suppose that there is a product in which we need a very subtle color palette, a very smooth, a very easy to eye color palette. So I would rather use a peach color, a blue color, a lemon color. So that these color combinations would make it bit smooth to the user. So that would according to them, suppose that if there's an app made for specifically for uh, old people, so we will use subtle colors that will not uh, basically poke on their eyes, that will not hurt their eyes, or they will not harm anyway. And if you're something looking forward to something childish, any children related app, it is focused more on more colorful aspects, how as many colors as we can put in. So that's how the color theory and palettes work. So that's how it is. Coming ahead, we have lines, shapes, and geometry. So when we have lines, shapes, and geometry, these are sort of basic structures. We all have studied them in our past years, and we all are familiar with them. But how are they used in design? Whenever we make a design or a wireframe, basically, we see a very simple structure being made just from lines. If you even see, if you are even a B Arch student, so you must be knowing that there are in architecture models, everything is just like consists of lines, shapes, and geometry as only, because the whole architecture depends on just these simple elements. And it's a very simple fact of universal fact that every complex thing is made from a very simple single unit. So that's how lines, shapes, and geometry work. They combine together, form different sort of patterns, form different sort of shapes, areas, and that's how you decide the structure of your application, of your product, or your website, or your poster. So that's how your shapes and geometries work. They're basically a very small building blocks that consist of the overall structure of your design. Next up, we have typography. So when we think about something readability, something related to readability, then immediately typography comes into our mind. So what is typography? Typography is just something that relates us to the visual appearance of the text. Basically, if there is an infographic which consists of a lot of details, of a lot of text, so we have to make sure that a text is very specific, is very point to point, or maybe the font should be suitable enough for the whole infographic. So suppose that we take an example of a normal book or a dictionary. So in a dictionary, we always see that there are hundreds of words in a row, and divided in rows and columns. We see a lot of them, but when we find certain words, we are able to catch them up just because the main specific word is bold and highlighted, and the rest meaning is normal regular font, but the main word is bold and highlighted. That's just because you have no issues with readability. You can immediately focus on what you need to search. You don't need to hassle about what are you going to find in the same type of typography. So when you see a lot of text over there, then there is a hierarchy we follow in typography, that the more essential things are bold, the less essential thing is slightly less bold, and the least important part is regular font or light font. And that's how the hierarchy works. The user first immediately goes to view the design, like the the heavy design, the bold design, the highlighted part. It's very common thing. You all use highlighter on your copies or books, right? So that's why it's important. So when you highlight something, it makes that specific part important, right? So when that specific part is important, digitally it can be done through bold or highlight by digital way. So that's how the typography work. We use it in manipulating its size, its type, its colors and spacings, and that's how the like whole categorization is done. But overall, the typography is just a game of playing with your texts and making it uh, feasible and readable to users accordingly to your according to your product. Yeah. So next up we have textures, abstracts, and backgrounds. So why are they important, and what exactly are they? So when we see that there are like a lot of, like previously we started about line, shapes, and geometry. So when there are lots of lines, lots of shapes, and lots of geometry over all the design. So when we see a repeated pattern of something, it sort of tends to create a pattern, right? So when we see a pattern being created, that makes it sort of a texture, an abstract background. So that is why we see many abstracts, many textures, many different designs in backgrounds. Suppose that you just see a normal website and there are so many waves over there, so many lines over there, and they all tend to form a overall structure. They all are not hierarchically on top of the design. They are very beneath the design, but they are also visible. They also make sense because they are also giving a aesthetic good look to the website or the app or like a basic poster. So these small elements, you may think that they are not very important, but when the design comes into existence, every single part is of equal importance. So that's how the textures work. You take a lot of backgrounds, you take a lot of elements, you take a lot of concentric circles, you take a lot of waves. So these sort of elements we use in our designs, everyday designs, these are the textures. The abstracts are basically sort of some uh, pre-made designs, or some whenever you go on any website like FreePic or any flat icon, you see some regular, like very common used textures or backgrounds. You may be able to see them there. So these are the textures which we commonly use, and that's how they are made. They are made by the repetitions of basic geometries or basic shapes. So that's it. They are used basically in backgrounds only. So coming ahead on Figma, I guess we have one more slide left here. Yeah. So what is UI UX? So this are very you may not require to read this, but essentially when we talk about UI UX, so it's a bit diverse topic. UI and UX are termed together as they are something a very single term, but they are not a single terminology. UI is something very different and UX is something very different. Whenever you open google.com or suppose Gmail or suppose IRCTC, whatever is the first visible thing to your eyes, that is, my friends, the user interface. That is the user interface you are able to view. That is something that is designed just like aesthetically. And when we talk about UX is a totally different concept. UX deals with user experience. It consists of interacting with your product. So they're very simple, very quick example of IRCTC. When you go on the IRCTC website, you see a lot of features there. You can see your PNR number, you can see your basic train queries, you can see your chat icon, or whatever you think you need to find out there. So on the IRCTC website, there are a lot of things you may get confused with, but that's because of the UI. You are not familiar with a product, so UI is the visual appearance. But when you think about a UX deals with how the user is going to interact with the product. If I am going to a drop down menu, how will it open, how will it close, and if I do my regular login, what type of user am I categorized as, what is my priorities on my first dashboard, what are the first thing that I'm going to see, how many minimal clicks I am going to use to perform a very crucial like execution of a, suppose that a ticket booking. A product is as good when we see that the number of clicks used in executing the thing is minimal. If suppose that I am able to send money to my friend in just 3 clicks using Google Pay, then that is something whose UX is being studied thoroughly, and that is UX improvised product. And the user experience is enhanced this much that you just need to click very few number of clicks and you are able to do the following transaction. So that's how Google Pay works. Google Pay requires a lot of very less clicks and you just send your money instantly. So that's how user experience is. Now if I'm saying that go on SBI internet banking and open the portal and then send me 5,000 rupees through NEFT or something like that, so that would make a lot of haphazard, because the user experience is not that quick or that smooth over there. So when we think about UI, we just think that how things are gonna be organized on the screen. But when we are thinking about UX, we question that why these things are gonna be organized on the screen, why and how is the user gonna navigate through them, and what is the user flow, that the what is the path user is following from getting the to the starting point to the end point. What are the minimum steps we are using to enhance the user experience? So that are the overall questions we that come into our mind when we think about UI UX. So like a very small detail about UI UX. This was it. So next slide. Yeah. So coming ahead to Figma Basics. So as I told you all, Figma is a very good tool. Figma is something that you may be not knowing it, or you must have listened it somewhere, but Figma is something that's gonna take over the design industry to a new level or next level. Yeah, Figma is a very smooth and mm, less heavy designing software, and you can create UI prototypes, you can create like your designs, you can even design posters, you can design animations, you can use mockups, you have thousands of plugins over there, you can have n number of features and a lot of them. So let's move on to knowing Figma more. So Figma is the first interface designing prototyping tool based in the browser. So when we think about what is based in the browser, why is it highlighted? So again, it's the use of typography to attract more attention on based in the browser thing. So that's how the typography works. We tend to highlight and focus, take more focus on the things that are usually important, and that's how it works. So when we think about Figma, it is the one of the only tools that are working on the browser base, and you can also download the application as well. But Figma works this as smooth as the application on the browser also. So if your PC is not able to handle that much of pressure or that much of bandwidth, you can easily log into your Figma account on your web browser, and that will work exactly smooth. So that's something very sort of self-sufficient for Figma, because in its competitors, even Adobe XD or Sketch or any other prototyping tool, we usually see that they take a lot of RAM, they take a lot of bandwidth on your PC, and your PC starts lagging around and you have a lot of hassle issues. But when we talk about Figma, it's a very lightweight software. It works on browser and takes a very less bandwidth. So this is something good about it. Yeah. So Figma has a lot of things at one place to offer to you all. It has a design, like you can design through it. You have the capacity. It's about your capacity, how much you want to design and explore. Initially, when I started learning Figma, I was just able to like learn very basic things, just using making a small poster over there, just making a very small UI over there. Later on, I started learning with prototyping, the proper handoff, proper we say haath saaf karna. So that's all we got on Figma. As we practice more on it, we can like to immediately take feedbacks from our teammates. That's because we have collaborative workspace on Figma. We'll talk more about it in the later slides. But and the fifth most important thing is versioning. It has a version control system. So VCS is one of the most important things in today's product development life cycles. So most if some few of you are using must be using GitHub or something like open source mein. So there are stuff which require a lot of version control systems, and version control is a necessity, because when you think of a version to be made, then you make a version, you release it, and you find a lot of bugs, you resolve them, you clean the designs, and you release it again, and you have a new version for it. That's how the application versions work. The security issues, the bugs, the fixes, the UI improvements, all are done through version improvements, right? So version control system makes you accessible to the previous versions on the same board. So that's how Figma is super cool and easy to use. One good thing is that you have real-time collaboration between the members of your team. You are Suppose that we are on this Google Meet. You are seeing this screen, white screen with brown text and red box. If someone wants that this red box should be of a green color, and you have the access to this file, you can immediately go on the board and change this color to green, and this will automatically revert immediately, and you will be able to see the green color. That's not exactly what you may be thinking about. But suppose that you are on your board, you are a team of three people. You want to discuss and draw something, you want to plan and make something, and you don't have that workspace that you in suppose that Adobe XD, what happens, you have a design opened on your screen, and you draw on it. A single person makes the design, and then he saves the file, he sends the XD file to another person. The another person makes alterations to the design, then he sends to the third person. That's how three people multi-network works. But when we talk about Figma, we share SSS, just like Google Drive SS, and we provide them grants and permissions. Like if suppose that I'm sharing my Figma board to Vanshita, I will be able to choose that will she be able to only view my board, or will she be able to edit my board as well. So I have given that I have that authority to choose it. And if I provide that access to Vanshita and I would be working collaboratively on the same board, working together real time. I can see Vanshita's cursor, Vanshita can see my cursor, on where we are moving, what are we viewing, how much screen we are viewing, we can see everything. So that brings a lot of transparency and clarity between a team's workspace, and it's very essential when you are in a professional environment. So you can pursue constant feedbacks from your point of contact. So that's how things are very easier in Figma rather than on Adobe XD. Don't need to worry more about feedbacks and saving the file, sending it again, and taking the feedbacks, and then doing all that shit. Yeah. In Figma, you can apply to multiple styles at the same text box. Suppose that you have a website which has 20 pages. You make a change on one page, and you are now afraid that how will I make the same change at all the 19 pages. So it has few features like components which allow us to make constant and recurring changes to one. Suppose that you change on a one screen, all the changes will be done on all the rest screens. So that saves a lot of time, saves a lot of bandwidth, and you are able to do your things quickly. And that's how it is user centric, it is user friendly. Figma is being really thought well upon, because these are exactly the same problems what the previous competitor users were feeling. We are not able to make the same change to every screen. We are not able to share files quickly. We are not able to take feedback. All these problems are being taken into consideration and implemented into Figma, and that's how it's getting really successful. So when we talk about prototyping, let's talk more in more detail about prototyping. So prototyping is something that we basically take a help in making a demo in a very quick words, I would say. So when we make a website, we when we make a design of a website, just a UI design, so we think about how this flow will go. If I'm making three screens, first is a login screen, second is the sign up screen, third is the main dashboard screen. So how are things going to jump from this screen to this screen, this screen to this screen? How is the user going to navigate through the platform? So if we have these sort of doubts, we use prototyping. Prototyping helps us in connecting the dots. We connect all the pages through the arrows. We design the animation. We when you learn more about the animation, how to make animations, you'll connect it with the with the perspective which you want to see your product. You when you design something, you obviously you want to look at the good level. You don't want to look it as you designed it. You will love to like look that in a mobile phone screen. You would love to see that in a desktop screen, what we call a mock-up usually. So when you want to see something that is designed into a practical shape, so we use prototyping. What prototyping helps us, it Figma has these things to offer, that you can draw designs in iPhone screen, you can draw designs in Android screens, you can even draw designs on your Apple Watch screens. So when you draw these sort of things, you are able to animate it, you are able to select the flow. When suppose that I made this screen, a first screen with a login and sign up button, but how do I know things are gonna go? So when I open the prototype of that screen, so I will be able to click login button. And that's how powerful Figma is. In a basic designing software, you are able to click all the buttons. You are making just design wise, you are making these buttons UI wise aesthetically, but they are just visible, they are not coded. वहां पे कोई there is not no coding done, but it's programmed in such a way that you will be able to use prototypes. I will be selecting a dot from login button and connecting with the login screen. So as soon as I click the login button, I will be forwarded to the next screen, and that's how I will be able to decide, or I would be able to see the demo of my product, that how things are gonna go smooth in my product. So that's how prototyping works. You are able to in prototyping you will be able to scroll your page. Scrolling can be done. You can make a lot of frames. You can connect all of them. You must have seen, if someone has made UI, you must have seen that there are hundreds of wires going all around. Those are not wireframes. Wireframes are totally different structures. That's a blueprint of your UI. So whatever the wires we see all around the designs, those are the prototyping connections. So when we make them, we decide the transition of the screens and the frames. Yeah. So then we have coding. The best thing is that when you design on Figma, you are able to extract the CSS code or the code that is required in Android, the basically the XML one. You are able to extract the colors, the fonts, the dimensions of the assets, and everything is able to like export it. Everything is exportable. You are able to find out the whole CSS code. So what's better than having the whole design being successfully coded just through Figma? Suppose that I make a website of just a structure of google.com, and I just see its CSS. I copied it, made a HTML by my own self, and copied the CSS. And that CSS will work as smooth as your coded one will work. There are few limitations to the CSS because obviously it's all automated, so we cannot rely to it 100%. But yeah, there are the basic expectations can be fulfilled very easily. So that's how it works. Coding in Figma, you are able to extract the code, and when you get CSS code, what's left? You have a lot of things in your plate, and you just need to draw a code, write a code, and that's how you are able to be a designer and maybe a part-time developer as well. So that's how Figma helps a lot in front-end web development. So I guess this is the last slide for my thing. So designers, since you all have learned a lot basics about the designs, you have learned a lot, all first and last things of design. Hands on Figma now. So we will be getting more into like that when Vanshita takes on the stage. So just the last like quick thorough point, that when you are able to think more practically in making good designs, you are always like there are most important things are to focus on your like audience needs. The presentation is off. I'll repeat it after that. So the first thing you need to focus is on is to focus on the audience needs. The very important thing it is, you always have to design your product according to the audience. You cannot design just what you want, because whenever you will do, if the user is not coming back to your product after using it one time, the user is gone, and once it's gone, you're not going to make that user come back, because first impression is again a last impression. So when you think about these things, you must always prioritize the audience needs. That's how designs get better and more practical as well. When the second thing is to speaking specifically through the details of the work. The details are very important for the work. You are if you are making something aesthetically good, but those are not like aligned with your upcoming design trends. Suppose that nowadays we have a lot of designs on glass morphism. There is a structure of blurry structure on websites which tends to look like a glass, or a blurry windshield that is having a rain outside and having a fog all around the mirror. So that things that looks like something like that, but that's technically glass morphism. So when we go through more trending and up like latest design perspectives, then you get to more into it. The user gets immediately attracted to your product, that yes, this is something I was looking for, this is something new, this is something pleasing, appealing. So that's how the user will stay on your product. The last thing is spending more time listening than presenting. If you are presenting something, you make sure you are good at it. If you are not, then also keep trying to listen that things, because unless and until you won't listen them, you won't be able to solve that problem. Designing is not nothing less than solving a problem, and we as designers are focused highly on solving daily problems. You will be able to learn that when you get into a professional environment, that how problems are solved. But yes, design is exactly how to solve a problem. That's how design works. And that's pretty much from my side. Thank you so much, guys. Vanchita, you would be taking over, and we will be learning how to get our hands dirty on Figma.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arindra, for the amazing, insightful things that we will be needing in our session that forward. So yeah, as Aryan told, like UI UX is not a single term. There is a very different term, and those who are here, like attending this session, might have this question in mind that what is why is UI UX helpful in like why it is used, and why we should pursue UI UX, or why should we learn it. So my first of all, and my like in my 2 years experience, I have just observed that, not even learned that, I have just observed that everything that a developer develops, or everything that backend developer codes, needs an interface, and that interface is your UI and UX. If your product is has to be launched to the market, then it should have an interface so that the user can go through your product. It can't run on code only. The developers can't make or can't be only helpful to make the product. Designers and developers go hand in hand to make the product successful, and therefore more UI UX comes into the action and comes into the industry, where I can say that uh, interface to building the interface and building the user experience that is very very good. So yeah, so that's the answer to the question that why UI UX is necessary and why it is helpful to the product. Because presentation, as we know, that presentation is necessary even if the product is not that much good. If you present it good, the product will appear good to the people. So that's the thing. So I'm basically here to give you a small pretty hands-on session, very basic one on Figma. And here I will be building a web page, only a web page that of a simple URL shortener. And I will just go allow you to go through the Figma app of software, or if you want to build this web page on Figma web, also you can do that. It's on up to you, because Figma is of course a browser based application, so you can do it on the browser itself even if you don't have the Figma software installed on the system. So yeah, so I will just go open my screen and share you my screen with Figma open. Yeah, so this PPT was also built on Figma. So see, the Figma is multi-talented, I can say. So yeah, this is the Figma, and this is my account. This has multiple projects. Don't look at it. These are only multiple projects that I do work on. So this is a home screen. As soon as you launch Figma, or as soon as you install Figma on your, so am I audible, right? Hope so, because I have spoken many much stuff.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So if as soon as you install Figma on your Windows or Mac or anything, then you will log into your account, and then you will get this screen where there's projects here, where there's design file and FigJam file. FigJam file is a new feature of Figma in which you can also build some of the flowcharts and the user flows. It's for the convenience or for the designers, so that they can do the case study as well. They can, so that they can build a case study as well for their product. And here are the projects in which you can work on. These are my projects that I can work on, and here you can just edit the file and just go and you can edit the file. So I will be just opening my design file that I have already. So I will be opening this file. This will be an untitled file. This page will open, a blank screen will open. After that, I will just let you know that what are the toolbar icons. So this is the, the file icon that is generally there in MS Word and MS Office. So this is the icon in which you will get the new design file, new FigJam file, new from sketch file. You can import the sketch file as well from the sketch to Figma. So there's no worries if you have designs on your sketch previously. So you can also import that designs into Figma. So yeah, that's the thing. Also, you can import images, save a local copy, also save to version history, as Aryan told, versioning, VCS. So this is the thing that, yeah, you can build something, and if you want it can be deleted afterwards, and if you want to make a version of one product, like as you see during an app launch or during anything, there are MVPs that are released. So these are called versions. So if the designers want to make the version like version 1, version 2, version 3, he can also save to version history and just go to that version and just import that designs from that. I will let you know about that also. Then we have edit option. These are the options that you can explore: edit, object, vector, arrange, anything. And these are the, like, yeah, the most important is plugins. Plugins are the inbuilt libraries, I can say, that are developed by many of the designers and the people from the Figma community, and some are free, some are paid. So the plugins are very, very useful in Figma, because every time if I want to import any icon related to anything, or any wave structure or anything, I just search the plugin related to that, and I can get that thing in my design. So you can see there are so many plugins already installed in my design, or on my Figma. So yeah, so after that we have this frame. There are inbuilt many frames in Figma. You can see there's a phone frame in which there are all types of Android, Google Pixel, iPhone, every type of size that are usually used by the in the market. Then we have tablet frame, desktop, uh, desktop may we have desktop and MacBook Pro, Service MacBook, iMac. So these are the sizes that are used, and these are very, very important, because if you don't build the design according to the size, then it won't that then the developer will also can't make it look good on the code side as well. You have to make the design according to the size of your device that you're building on. If you're building on for the web, then you can use desktop or MacBook, and if you're building for a Android or a mobile device, then you can use this predefined things. But you have to just pick the predefined frames as mentioned here, and you have to build it on that, so that the developers also get that ratio in their mind. Then we have presentation slides that you use in PowerPoint, we can do on Figma as well. Apple Watch, you can also do design the interface of this smartwatch that I am also wearing. So yeah, you can also build this interface of the smartwatches on the Figma as well. So that, yeah, sort of like, if I can say that the higher or the advanced level projects include the building the interface of the watches as well. Then we have paper also, letter, tabloid, A4, A5 that we already use. Social media, we can make a Twitter post, Twitter header, Facebook post, Facebook cover, everything on Figma itself only. We don't have to go on Adobe Illustrator or something like that, so that we can go that in. Then we have Figma community, as you can say that we have plugin icon, profile banner, plugin file cover, anything. So these are the things. So the most used by me is phone, of course, and I mostly use iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max. Then and the most used is by my desktop. So desktop and the phone one, I use it more frequently. Then after that, there is a rectangle shapes icon. We have different shapes: ellipse, rectangle, line, arrow, ellipse, polygon, star, images, everything we have. So we have this shape icon. Then we have pencil, in which pen tool is used to just draw the abstract designs. Like you can do the abstract designing, or if you don't want to use the geometrical designs or geometrical shapes, then you can use this pen tool, where you can make the use of anchor like things and all that to make the designs look good. And it's as a UI card, nothing related to UX. Then we have text option. This is a hand tool to make your design go up and down if you don't want to distort the shapes and sizes of the things. This is a comment icon. After that, this is the share icon. As you can see that there is the can view, and there are three options. There are three options within there. I have to move the files to a project first, so that I can show you the three icons. Right now my project files are fully loaded, so I can't show you that. So yeah, so there are three icons. You can just type in the email and it will show you three icons, two things: can view, can edit. And if you want into the people to edit it, you can just give him the edit access. Or if you want that, no, you want to show them, you, because you have some confidential issue or something like that, then you can just give them the can view access. Then this design tab vanishes. Only there's a prototype and inspect tab that comes in can view option. So right now we will be making a URL shortener web page. So as you can see, here's a desktop size. It's of 1440 into 1 cross 1024. But this is also a desktop size, but I usually prefer the size as 1920. That is can be like changed from the menu at itself, 1920 to 1440 1080. This is a desktop size that I usually prefer, because according to my experience, I also used to design the web pages on this dimensions. But it didn't. But the developers told that this didn't come. The design is not coming out exactly the same as it is on the Figma or something like that. Then I just changed the dimension, and yeah, you won't believe that the design came out correct to them. So yeah, the dimensions play such a critical role in designs. So I will be making this frame of 1920. It's seen 1920 to 1080. Then after that, we will be just making a rectangle. I'm doing it like abstractly. There's no logic behind it. I'm just doing as my creative process or creative thought process is allowing me to do. So yeah, we will just make a rectangle. By default, the rectangle is in the gray color. You can change the color from here to any of the color you want. As you can see, there's a multiple choice of color. Like you can change any of the color you want. And also there's a color picker tool. Like if you want to pick the color from, like I can say, like if I make a rectangle, like I have already have a rectangle here. Like let's say I just copy this, Control C, and just copy this, Control V. If I copy this anywhere on my board, if I copy this, and if I just use a color picker tool, if I select, then I have to select this rectangle. I will use the color picker tool and I will just add on it. Yeah. So it will just automatically add on the particular color. This is very, a good thing in AI, in Figma, or in the designing tools that I have encountered, because you can just pick the color of a image as well. If you can just download an image, you can just export or put and drag and drop the image here on the board, and you can and if you want the same color of that image, or if you want any color from that image, you can just use this color picker tool, and you can just pick the color from that image and just drop it on your design, any part. Then then it will be very easy for you to just know the color code as well, and to make the design symmetrical and also good looking. So yeah, also if you have the color code, if you don't have this if you don't want to use this color picker tool and you have the color coding, then you can just change the color to anything you want, and you can get the color here. Then after that, every color that you use in your design just adds up on here. Every time I have used used this color right now in my design, then it is added upon here. So there's no problem that your color palette will be lost or your anything will be lost. No, there's no issue. Every time when you open the file, you can just see the colors from here and you can get the color code. So Figma is that much easy. Also, you can change the opacity of the color from the hair only. You can just move this, or you can just use the arrow keys, anything you want, just to increase or decrease the opacity of the colors. After that, the color palette, as Aaron said, is a great thing that you need to take care of to make the design look awesome. So as I said, so I have pre-decided my color palette. Sorry for that. You can use the same one or you can make the own one according to your will. So I have this color palette already decided for this design, and I'm using this color for the color palette. So I will be just copying my colors. I will be just copying this rectangle. I will be copying this rectangles and I will be pasting it here. So yeah, it will be pasted here. I just move it up. Just let me zoom in so that you can all visible. So these are the color palettes that I want to use in my design. So let me just give the gradient to this color. How to give the gradient? As you know, the gradient look gives a good look to your design if used correctly. If you don't know how to use the gradient, then you can make your design look very, very, very poor. Like if I add gradient, like I want to add the color to the last end, like this end, blue. So this is a gradient that comes linearly, and this is the gradient that comes radially. That you can that the green color is in middle, radial look, round one, and the blue color is in outer part. Then after that, if angular, angular means this, you can change the angle design as you want. Okay, and then he has diamond also. We have diamond as well. Then like yeah, you can increase it, decrease it by just changing by just playing around it. You know, I literally do playing around it. Oh shit! See, I just moved the scroll button up and down and it changed the color. So yeah, this much sensitive also the Figma is. So need to change the color again. Yeah. So let me go on to the linear one only. Solid first, then linear. Then I will just select the color again from, like, let's say from here. Okay. Then this is the vertical look, vertical linear gradient. Okay. Okay, you have the perpendicular flow. This is the vertical linear gradient. This is the vertical. You can also make it horizontal. How you can make it horizontal? Let us move this, and this side to here. See, it's horizontal. This gradient is looking pretty much fine here. But what people do to just give it a fancy look, they just duplicate it. They will just add colors on this gradient. How they will add colors? They will just duplicate it. How we will duplicate this? Just select on this of the one of the rectangles as you want. Control C, Control V. One second. Then we will just Alt See, just press Alt and just select on the rectangle. It will duplicate on these rectangles. Okay, as many as you want, as many. Okay, then they will just get on to the colors, like I can say. Let me change the color this, like this. Then after that, if you select the colors, so this, or I can say like let me be close to it, like this, or this, this. So this gradient is not looking good. Yeah, this is also a gradient. This is also a linear gradient as well. Have not used any of the gradient, any other gradient that doesn't look good. This is a linear gradient, but this doesn't look good on the design. Why so? Because it has too many colors on it. The too many colors make the gradient look very, very poor, and in all the design very, very poor. So avoid using too many colors in gradient. The too many colors in the gradient give a very terrible look to the users. So just keep it to minimum 2 or minimum 3. I will just take it again. Yeah, see again. This is a subtle look. This looks good to the eyes, and what look good to the eyes is the thing that you should opt. So this is the color that I will go through. Then after that, we will be just writing something on, one second. Then we will be writing something if you want. Let me just know in the chats what should we like, what should we write on the thing, what should we use, or what should we write, or what are your suggestions to write on the text part. Just give me some suggestions. I'm out of my creative process right now. I will just select the font till then. I will be using Montserrat. I'm pretty much fan of that. Let me see Montserrat. These are the fonts. You can select any one of the your. Yeah, Montserrat. I will be using Montserrat font. Any suggestions like that had come over to use as a text? Urlify, okay. And like something, it is a like a text that describes what is your website, what is the web page all about. So don't make it look too short and too long. Just 2-3 words. Like anything, anybody, anything that came in my something mind. Okay, welcome to Hogwarts. Then you should, Hussein, you should make, so you should be making one Harry Potter website, theme website for that. Then, okay, make it short. Okay. Fine. So let me go. Let me not waste the time and yeah. So I will be like typing something like tired. Don't worry, I will make it big for you so that you can look it. I myself not. Yeah. So it's too small to read. Yeah. I guess you all agree to it that yeah, it's too short to or too small to read. So yeah, we can increase the font size from here by arrow keys or by shift arrow keys. So yeah, we can just have to click on it and you have to increase it. Yeah, see, next got tired of long links. Yeah, so it gives the user a question mark look, like yeah, if you are tired from you are tired from long links, seeing the long links on your WhatsApp being spread over. So we are giving you a website or web page that will help you to make the links look shorter so that you can just send it by just even learning the link also. So yeah, so this will give the emphasis to the text thing, the question mark. So yeah, here comes the typography thing that Arindh told. The typography matters. So as you know that this is the main text of our website or of our web page, we will make it look quite bold. See, yeah. Also, we can make it look quite bigger. Yeah, and we can reduce the size if you want. See, after that, yeah, we can then make this shorter. See, also, yeah, this is the normal left alignment. This can be center line. This can be right align as well. Here you can increase the size. Here you can increase the space between the lines. One second. Here, yeah, this can increase the space between the lines. See. Okay. So if you want like there should be more space between the lines or there are less space between the lines or some text or some font is using less space between the lines, you can use this. Or rather you can use this auto. If I use 0, let's say if I use 0, it will look like this. No, I don't want to use 0. So I will be just make it look like this. Okay, this is enough for the design. This is the space between the letters. If I increase the space between the letters, see, all letters are spaced by 36% to each other. So this is the spacing between the letters. If I have to make it to 0 again, so I don't want any space between the letters. This is fixed size. This is the line thing that you can see that it is auto height, and this is auto width. See, auto width, and this is like same. This doesn't work. This is a medium size. You can, if you want, there we see it. If you decrease the size of the text box, it decrease from both the sides. If you select the mid option, it will decrease from the center. See, it decrease from the center and it will come onto the center. If you select this one, it will decrease only from above. Above it will be fixed and it will decrease from below. And if you select this, it will decrease from it will increase or decrease from the above. The below side will be fixed. So yeah, I don't want to experiment it. I just want to fix it. So yeah, I will be fixing it. It's good if you use the fixed size to the text. The text box and the text should be fixed to each other. Also, there are more options. Alignment, as you see, there are 3 types of alignment. There's also one alignment that is known as justify. Here, the text will be justified. You won't understand this thing here, but yeah, if the text justification means there would be equal alignment from left and right. Okay, by either increasing the space between the letters or by either increasing the space between the words, it will make your text look aligned all over from left and right. But that isn't much used in the designs or by the designers, because that gives the distorted look to the text, because in some lines the words are too close and in some lines the words are too far, so that doesn't give the good look. The most used one are the center and the left aligned one. Yeah, so yeah, we will be using this. Then after that, we will be making a text box here, of course, where the user can paste the long link. We will be giving him a space that where he can paste a long link here. Yeah, and then after that, we will make a color bit lighter so that they can get the. Then after that, we will also make a button here, clickable one, where he can click it so that the link gets shortened. As this button is the CTA, call to action button, where the user will click. So the call to the action button in the website is always catches the attraction of the user. So to catch the attraction of the user, according to the user experience, you will make the button look brighter from the background. That is the part of the UI. Okay, so this is how the UX is linked to the UI. That from the UX side, you have to make this CTA, call to action button, attractive, and most like whenever he lands onto the website, the first attraction goes to this button. So you want this button to look like attractive and empathetic to the user. So for that, you have to make this button look contrasted to the background. So that we will be using this color or this color or this color, anything you want. Okay, I will be using again the gradient one so that it brings symmetry to the upper thing. I will be using the gradient of the same color, this and this, so that it brings symmetry in the website or web page. Because in the banner part also I have used the linear gradient thing, so as to bring the symmetry to the design, I will be using the gradient here also. It's not even compulsory that you uses the same gradient thing. You can use any primary color you want in your design. Also, I will be telling the type of colors that you can, type of 3 colors that are basically used in the design and what are they termed as. I will be telling after I will be making this website. So yeah, so I will be just adjusting the ratio of both the colors so that they look even. Then I if you have noticed, MacBook, Apple products have the rounded edges, corner edges, and these corners are built, and the corners are not very much like this, like the sharp corners. They have the round corners. If you see any of the Apple products, if you see MacBook also, if you see iPhone also, if you see any of the Apple products, their keys also, even the MacBook keys are also even rounded at corners, because the rounded thing gives the visually appealing look to the user. It gives you that, yeah, this thing is safe for us to look. As soon as you see the blunt sharp things that gives quite a dangerous look to the user, and it will be not very much good looking for the, not very much soothing for the users to use. So that's why, well, like, people or the designers prefer to use rounded edges or rounded corners is in their website more, and it has become the design trend now. Even now, no one in any of the app, if you opens, there are always a rounded edges or rounded corners every button or to every CTA or to everything that you see, because, yeah, because you want your user to feel comfortable, not to, like, not to flew him away, that no, go away because I have the sharp blunt edges in my product. So no, you have to use the rounded edges. So how you make the edges look rounded? So yeah, there's a icon here, there it say corner radius. You will just increase the corner radius. See, I'm increasing the corner radius, and you can see that the corner radius of this rectangle, that is the gray one, is increasing here. See, I can increase it to even round itself like this, or even to zoom in, or even to little bit of corner radius, like some Apple products as they use. See this. I will keep it to 10. No, I will keep it to 15. Yeah. And I will also make this one round to match it to the background rectangle. Yeah. See, so this is the box where the user will paste all its link, and it will get shortened here. So just let's write the CTA text. What will be the CTA text? It will be shortened, let's say. And then after that, I will just decrease the size of the 94 it is. So I will just decrease the size to 36. For say, if I feel small, if I feel that it's very less, then I will increase it. I will decrease the size to this. I will keep it to semi bold because it's looking too, no, medium. Yeah, medium is okay, because already there's bold text in the heading. And you may ask that, yeah, it's a CTA text, so why aren't you emphasizing it by making it bold? Because it already has the background which is empathetic, so we won't be making the text also looking bold, so that it disturbs the user's mindset, or that the website has too bold things to see. So yeah, so we will just making it look subtle, because it already has that background that is making it look empathetic. Then we will just increase the some size to some thing, some point. Yeah, 44 is okay. I usually prefer to increase the size in the multiple of I can say 20, 22, 24, 24, 20, 20, 24, 28, 32 essay. So because just to give the good even ratio on the website, you can just make it increase as you want. You can make it your own ratio as well. You can make it your own multiple as well. No problem. I have made it this for mine to make it the even look. So yeah, I will increase it like this. Then after that, you can paste the link here. As you can see, this is looking okay right now for me. After that, if I come on this web page, And if I want, even if I want to stay, I really don't want to stay on this right now. And even if I want to stay on the web page, I won't be getting the uh, I won't be getting the gist that what this web page does. So to give more explanatory things to the user, you need to have a heading 6 things also. Heading H6, you using HTML, right? So you should have the H6 text in this website also. This H6 text or a paragraph text should be there so that the user get more clarity that yeah, what your web page or what your product does. So if I like add on to the like H6 text, or if I add on to the paragraph that what the this website does, the directives things, then I will just add on here in middle, enter the world of simple and easy to remember. Right now text is getting out of the frame, but don't worry, I will just make it look in frame. So I will just decrease the size to 24. As you see, I use 24 only, and it is looking very small. So I will just increase the size to 20. Also, this thing is also not good. Yeah, this is okay now. See, whenever you have the small text, and if you have this thing like to 130, it goes far away, but not with the larger text, because it is large in size. But for small text you have to keep it less. So I will keep it to 40. No, 40 is very clumsy. Also I will make it to regular 14, 46, 45. It's okay. Yeah, so that easy to remember spelling is good. So this is a simple text that came across my mind, that uh, easy to remember, simple and easy to remember URLs. It's a simple thing that came to my mind, simple text that easy to remember URL. And I will make, and I have aligned it to this text. See, I have aligned it to this text. The red mark that is showing here is shown for the alignment, that this text and this text is equally aligned. If I don't align it to this, it won't look good on the website, that the website is not totally symmetric or aligned. So I will be aligning this to this. So this is a line. That's red buttons, dots are using for aligns. Okay, I will keep it to, this is not the text I want the people to focus on, much focus on. So I will keep it to light gray. This will be really light. Or I will be keeping it to blue and just decrease the color. Okay, I will keep it into blue and just decrease the color. Color can be decided afterwards. As I see, the website is looking very much empty. So to make it look full, complete, I will just do some design things here. I will do some just design things here, some designing part here. So should I write some text materials, textual things, or should I write some, cool, catchy tagline? What say people? What should I write? Some taglines or some catchy stuff? What's in? Graffiti, okay. So anyone can please make a graffiti for this website, because I am not a graphic designer. I am a UI UX designer. I can't use the pen tool. So yeah. Okay, so I will write. I'm not a graphic designer, pen tool one person. So I will just go to the tagline, catchy tagline. So yeah, I will write about the products as said. Uh, so I will just write the thing. Say, as this website makes the URL short, so, and it will the shorter the better. and this will be the tagline sort of thing. And after that, I will change the text to some of my favorite textual, some of my favorite font typography that I usually prefer to use. Yeah, so I will change it to this. Then after that, I will increase the size a little bit more. Middle align, center line. And you see here the text is not left aligned, it is center aligned, because this text is the tagline sort of thing for a website, and it is in the part where it can't be left aligned, it can't be right aligned. So I just made it to center line so that it look good on the screen. So I will just increase the, to just fill up the space, I will increase the space between the lines. After that, I will change the color to this. I can also do the linear gradient to the text as well if I want. I also want that. Yeah, it could look. It looks good. See, it looking the linear gradient looking more good on the website. So yeah, the text and the thing looks good. To select, if you want, like, see, if I want this thing to be aligned to this part, I will select this. I will select this rectangle. I will select this rectangle. I will press the shift. I'll select this rectangle. I will select this text, and see, all are selected here. All the frames are selected here, and you will just need to this thing, align it to the thing, and you will select the shorten thing, and you will decrease the size to it. See, the size is already decreased. So now this thing is aligned, and this part is aligned, and let's make it a more bigger. Also, we can add an exclamation mark here to make it look more amazing, more, exclamatory to the user. Yeah. Yeah, also, yeah. So yeah, this is, let's equate the size. See, गड़बड़ हो गई, देखा मैंने select सारे नहीं किए और यहाँ गड़बड़ हो गई. I will select all. I will just control that first of all. Control Z. Yeah, and I will select all. I will group. How we will group? See, we will group all these things together so that ये इधर उधर ना हो, जैसे अभी हुआ. तो ये मैंने ग्रुप कर दिया सारे. अब ये देखो, ये साथ साथ चलेंगे, ये साथ साथ बंद कम भी होंगे. It will go up and down like this. It will even reduce the size equally. ऐसे equally size reduce भी होएगा. Okay, so ये है. तो मैंने सारे को सिलेक्ट किया. ये जो बटन, ये जो आइकन दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, ये आइकन होता है स्पेसिंग का, कि आपकी हर एक पार्ट में, लाइक टायर्ड ऑफ लॉन्ग लिंक्स, एंटर द वर्ल्ड ऑफ सिंपल एंड इजी टू रिमेंबर यूआरएल्स एंड दिस टेक्स्ट बॉक्स, इनके बीच में स्पेसिंग जो है ना, वो इक्वल नहीं है अभी. कि आप कि टायर्ड ऑफ लॉन्ग लिंक्स एंड एंटर द वर्ल्ड ऑफ सिंपल एंड इजी रिमेंबर यूआरएल्स, इनके बीच में जो स्पेस है वो कम है. एंड जो टेक्स्ट बॉक्स है उनके बीच में स्पेस ज्यादा है. तो टू मेक द स्पेस लुक इक्वल, वी यूज दिस. सी, नाउ द स्पेस इज इक्वल. 55 55, बट आई डोंट वांट द इक्वल स्पेस, तो मैं कंट्रोल Z दबाऊंगी वापस से, बिकॉज आई वांट दिस टेक्स्ट टू बी अंडर दिस टेक्स्ट एज अ पैराग्राफ ऑफ इट. तो मैं बस सारों को सिलेक्ट करके इसके साथ अलाइन करूंगी थोड़ा सा सेंटर में, just like this, and I will make it the color look more light. Opacity reduce करके I will just write some placeholder text here. Type your URL. यहाँ पे I will just write the placeholder text. Placeholder text लिखने के लिए you have to just give the color to the text a bit darker to the background. Like if I use this color, it will mix up to the background. I will use a big darker one. See, now it is giving the look of placeholder text as you see on normal websites and as you see on your mobile devices in the search box and all. I will also reduce the size of it, and yeah, I will fix it to the, yeah, see, the placeholder text is also here, the shorter better tagline is also there, the banner is looking empty, so I will try to write something on a banner also. As there's only one CTA button on the website, only one CTA, that is shorten. Only the user will click on the shorten and the URL will get shortened. So I will just give it the tagline: shorten your URL in a single click. One minute. Okay. If you want, you can keep this text. You can keep this text here also. But as you see, the text is hollow. It is not giving a proper readability to the user here. So we will just change our text to Montserrat and to our normal Google text font. See, this is giving a more readability to on that background. Here the text is looking good because it is the white background. So that so here it is looking good, but on that colored background it is not looking good because it's not giving a good readability to the user. First of all, the user experience comes, and then the UI comes, of course. So then we will decrease the size a little bit, and we will just fix it to the length of the width of the text. Center line, how will center line? These are the alignment buttons: align left, align right, align right, align left, align center, align top, align bottom. See, align bottom एकदम यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. Then I have to align it here, center. तो मैंने इसको center align कर दिया. If I want to align it here, if I want to align right, then this. Okay, so this is the total web page I can think of from my end. And if you want, you can also just add on to the things here if you want. And also, yeah, if you want, like if I want, I can add on the things, add on to the UI parts. Like if I want, I can change the color of this black color as it is looking very eye popping and very contrasting to the website. So I can change it to simple gradient, as I can say, to this, and yeah, this, yeah, it's looking nice now. See, so yeah, it's now looking synchronized. The full application and the full web page is looking now synchronized. This is looking quite a light one, so I will just increase the text. So many of you would ask, like, why I haven't used the green color, this green or this green or anything. Green, red, yellow, these colors have their meaning, as you see in traffic lights and everything. They have these colors symbolizes the meaning. Red color stands for danger, as you know. Red color stands for danger and alert or anything, and the green color stands for, like, yeah, you can move ahead, you can go ahead and everything. Then after that, the yellow color stands for, no, it doesn't stand for anything, it stands for wait, but yeah, it doesn't give the good look on the white background. So I have used this blue color because blue color goes on everything you want. If you want a good subtle looking website, just to go with the blue and the shades of blue, it will give your website a good a subtle professional look. So yeah, this is the web page I have designed for shorten your URL in a single click. I can also, just a copyright things out of that. I can write made with love of Vanchify. Okay, we can add this thing to make it for like to personalize it. I can import the icon in place of here. How can I import the icon? I can import the icon like plugins. Iconify is a plugin I have installed from the Figma community. How can I install? Just go on to the browse plugins in community options, and here you will get multiple of plugins. You can search Iconify, and here is Iconify, and like Iconify is now gone. I have installed it in the previous version. There's multiple updates after that, so you can select, you can just oh no, there's a plugins option, sorry, there's a plugins option, and here you have to search Iconify, and you can get the Iconify already installed. There are multiple community things that you can explore all में सब कुछ है. Figma FigJam plugins भी है, widgets, FigJam design systems, wireframes भी हैं. If you want to just start the low fidelity design, start with low fidelity design, तो wireframes भी हैं, illustrations भी हैं, illustration packs भी हैं. You can just get that illustration packs from here, pro emoji packs, see all these packs. So yeah, you can install these packs or duplicate these things by this. So यहाँ से मैंने plugin install किया था, तो मैं यहाँ पे love का icon मान लो मुझे heart use करना है. So I will just go on to the plugin. I will use Iconify. I will select Iconify. Iconify run हुआ. Then after that, मैं यहाँ पे टाइप करूँगी heart icon. यहाँ पे सारे टाइप के heart आ जाएंगे, जैसा heart चाहिए. मान लो मुझे ये अच्छा लग रहा है, तो मैं यहाँ से इसको लेके आऊँगी. तो ड्रैग ड्रॉप भी कर सकते हो, और यहाँ से import icon भी क्लिक कर सकते हो. वो आप पे ऊपर है, जैसे आपको करना है. Then after that, मैं यहाँ पे place करूँगी. I will increase the, you see, इसको मैं या ठीक. तो ये आपका कॉपी आपका पर्सनलाइज भी हो गया. सो दिस इज पर्सनलाइज ऑल्सो. तो ये सेंटर लाइन नहीं है. अभी मैं इसको सेंटर, अरे कहाँ गया, तो अभी मैं एक मिनट वेट, हाँ, इसको मैं सेंटर अलाइन करती हूँ. पहले ग्रुप करके, ग्रुप कर लिया, कंट्रोल जी शॉर्टकट है, कंट्रोल जी ग्रुप का. देन इसको मैंने सेंटर लाइन कर दिया, ये हो गया सेंटर लाइन. तो दिस इज द होल थिंग आई हैव बिल्ट. एंड इफ यू लाइक, if you want, you can build this also. And इसमें आप अपना modifications, you can use your creativity thought process as well to make it look more appealing, to make it look more good according to your UI and UX knowledge. That, and also of course you can use our knowledge as well that we have delivered you in this whole 1 hour 30 minutes, and you can use that also. So yeah people, so 1 second, let me face you all. Stop presenting. So yeah, guys, I hope that you like the design. Also, the welcome to Hogwarts one. You can develop a website in the Harry Potter theme and just present it to us by tagging us with our official. Once again, I can present you the official accounts. Wait a minute. And you can present us. You can just tag us on Twitter and LinkedIn, and you can just develop this website or web page on the Figma and just post it here and just give it a tweet or post here, so we can see it and we can applaud you. So yeah, let me share you our Twitter handles as well. Twitter handle. Yeah, this is the Aryan, you want to introduce yourself, or yeah, you want to just elaborate it?
So
Hello,
yeah,
Aryan.
folks, whenever you feel like connecting with me and having any thoughts to discuss with me personally, so I would be available on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Medium, or any platform. You can just search for hashtag APS anywhere, and you'll be able to connect with me. And we would be like highly welcoming any post or any sort of tweets that is valuable from this session for you guys. So let us know what you like, and is if there's something any feedback related, then you may fill the feedback form that is shared in the chat.
Also, you can find me everywhere with @135 from Vanshita, and you can just tag or like you can just DM me or on LinkedIn for any of the queries that you have on Twitter, Medium. You can find me. I have my design blogs, some of them on Medium as well. You can study from. You can read it from there also. Also, you can tag us on Twitter and LinkedIn and post your learnings from the session as well. So yeah, thank you guys for this for being the amazing host. One second, let me just for being the amazing host and for being such a patient audience and driving us through the driving
Yep.
us through the.
Yep.
So if any of the questions, uh, we are available for to take through.
Yeah, maybe if anyone has any doubts, maybe we can address them
Yeah.
at the moment.
You can open up your mic and also speak up. No issues. We can see from the text that
Yeah,
Aryan, have you like answered all the questions in the text?
I've covered almost all of them, I guess. So yeah.
Yes, I guess all the
Okay.
questions are already answered. So
Is there any application for the iOS to view your design on real device? Like for Android, there is Figma Mirror, and for iOS, is there any application available on App Store?
I guess Figma mirrors run. Wait a minute. Figma mirror runs both on iOS or Android, right?
Yes, we have the Figma mirror on iOS as well. So
Yeah.
whenever, like, I've shared the link.
Oh,
So if you are needed to like use your prototype or like view it,
yes, okay.
then you can download it from the App
And
Store.
I had
Thank you.
made one of the project known as Finfly, and I have to record the video for that for my product, and I have used Figma Mirror. Only to just record it on my phone to give it to the app like experience because the app wasn't developed till then, so I have to make the video of the UI. So I use a Figma Mirror, and it just gave the app like experience as you are using the app. So yeah, you can use it on iOS as well, and it will like give you a good experience if you want to showcase it anywhere. So yeah.
Also, there are some plugins available on Figma. We can convert the code direct Figma to HTML, React,
Yeah,
Vue.
yeah, you can
Do
convert.
they matlab, work completely fine, or there is some
No,
drawbacks?
No,
they work completely off on they work completely fine. But yeah, if you want to make your code look more,
clean.
compact and precise, and optimize, you can say, then you
Optimize,
have
okay.
to make you have to make some changes because Figma has the CSS of every object that you make. Okay, they gave you the css of even a rectangle that you make, simple rectangle, and if you copy that whole css to the html file, that won't that make your code look long and non-optimized totally. So if you want to use the Figma code, you can use it, of course, for any of the design things that is not in the hands of the css. But yeah, the optimization part, you have to do it on your own. So that's the thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had one question that can we use this on Mac? So Videep, when we prototype an application, prototype a design, so we don't need a prototype design like application for Figma on desktop, because we already have a prototype feature in the application itself. So as Vanchita was showcasing you the presentation, the PPT, that was also totally designed in Figma only. So we don't need any external application for that. So you can directly do that through Figma, but prototype button on the top of the right corner.
Let me. I can showcase you if I allow, if it is not like in a hurry. If then I can showcase the that prototype button, and that, if that's okay.
Okay, so we have a website for IEEE Computer Society Jamia Millia Islamia. Okay, this looks pretty cool. This website looks actually very cool.
See, this is the product. So this is the like I have made. How can I showcase it? This is the play button here. I have to just play it, and yeah, the Figma prototype screen is opening. See, it is there on the screen. Okay, if I want to prototype it for the multiple screen, there's a prototype option. There's a flow starting point. Like there's my flow starts from here. If I make multiple screens, like if I make different frames, let's say if I
Just
make,
replicate this and make a change. That would be
okay,
easier.
okay, okay, 1 second.
So, quick shortcuts. When you are select dragging and dropping, you just need to click Alt and drag and drop. So it will automatically apply the copy button, copy
Let,
feature.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just pressing the Alt and I'm replicating this double arrow thing. This double arrow comes up and I'm replicating the design. See, the design replicates. You don't have to use Control V and Control C, Control C and Control V. So yeah, see this thing. Like if I type mine, like say a URL here, like say any URL like meet dot google dot com.
Next screen, में
I
just shorten it with a bitly link.
yeah.
Yeah.
Try
So
IEEE in meet. Okay, let's say I just made this long URL here. Okay, and I will be copying this Control C, and I will be pasting here Control V. I will be pasting here. I will be just removing this. 1 second, I have to remove it so that I can prototype easily. Yeah, see, if you have to prototype, you have to copy the same screen from before and after. See, I have copied the screen first and I have changed the text here. If I would have changed the text in the other screen, that would give a good prototype experience. So I will just copy the screen again so that the place and the position of this text remains the same in both the screens. So bit.ly IEEE.
basically, the prototype should be done on the latest last screen.
Yeah. So if I select this frame, I prototype. This is flow 1. This is flow 2. I don't need the flow 2, so I will just wait a minute. I will just delete this. I will needing this flow 1 only. I will select this shorten rectangle, the shortened one, and I will select this to this, that on clicking this I will be getting this link. Okay, so here are the interaction details, that what type of interactions you want. On click, on drag. On click means whenever you click on the button. On drag means whenever you drag. Drag gives the swiping effect. As you see, if in the apps that there are multiple cards on one screen and you swipe and they appears. So this effect comes from with the on drag option. Then we have while hovering. While hovering, as it is same in the HTML, that when you hover, the text color changes or the background or the text box appears. So this is the option by while hovering. This prototype can be done by while hovering. So these are the prototype options that you can explore also. Then after that, we will just use this. We just want to click on it and navigate to frame 2. We have to navigate to frame 2. This is open overlay. Open overlay means it just changed the overlay screen. It just changed the screen. And swap overlay means it just swap both of the screens. So these are the things. These are the also navigation things. We have want instant. These are smart animate. Smart animate. I will make you show the smart animate one after the instant one. So yeah, preserve scroll position. There is no scroll position here. But if you have a web page that is long enough and you want to prefer that, I want to make the scroll position. I just want that this text appear at this position only. And after the page appears, it doesn't look scrolled up. So I just preserve the scroll position here. Then I will prototype it. See, I will prototype this thing. I've opening. Yeah. If I click on shorten, see, it appears like this. In just a minute, see, I click on short, and this link appears. So this is how it works. And if I use my smart animate, if I use smart animate, these are ease in ease out thing. If I use ease out for 300 milliseconds, after 300 milliseconds, this screen disappears and this screen comes. So what happens? See, there is slightly animated thing you see. This is not instant, see. So this is the smart animate do. Smart animate is generally used by every of the prototype. But yeah, in places, if you want that there should be some of the other things that you want to use, like instant dissolve, then you can use that also. Smart animate is the most preferred one. So yeah, these are the prototype options that you can see. So guys, I hope all your questions are answered and you got to know the basic components of it. And to you all in learning all these things. Also, if you want to learn more about prototyping and all, we can catch up later and we can on the session as well if you want. So yeah, thank you so much.
There is one more question. Excuse me. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
There
Yeah,
are
of course.
website builders. They claim that if you export a design, Figma design, they directly convert it to a website. So is it possible? Do you have encountered with these website builders?
We exactly haven't used them because if that happens, so then the developers won't be paid well.
The
So the
okay.
yeah,
No,
one
the
precise
basic
answer.
one.
But our very basic website can be like done through it because most of the CSS and all is generated through Figma and is automated, and few things are like automated and programmed well, and that's how it gives a precise output. But at any cost, I'm still assuring you that you will be definitely needing to enhance the code later on, because without enhancing the code, it will give some garbage lines which won't make any sense, or will break the code. So you will definitely go through it once. So after that, maybe it can work smoothly, but it is not perfect. It isn't perfect.
Yeah.
It's just for a reference, so that like no developer falls anywhere, like and gets a complex, because whenever we as a designer make beautiful designs, but it's a duty of developer to make that design executed properly in the website in the practical form. So for their reference, Figma allows them to use the CSS so that they are at least referring to the right color code, to the right dimensions, to the right locations, and all that stuff. So that's how it's relevant. And more importantly, it would be very great if you are implementing through your own code base. So that's more like makes more sense.
Yeah.
Also, we had one website feedback thing. So yeah, I went through it. The website looks overall pretty clean. The only feedback I would like to give is to work on the typography. We have the same font types everywhere. Like it's bold in the main boxes, so we can maybe reduce it to regular light fonts. And as we have that chairperson card, that looks clean, and the typography over there is good. But when we have that what is IEEECS, that card is bit noisy because of the same type font. So maybe we can decrease the maybe make the font less broader, so that it is less highlighted and is not
No, not
noisy.
broader. It's like we can make it text to H3 or H4. Okay, so that it looks quite paragraph in a paragraph form. Now it is looking like it's itself is an
Heading.
heading, and it's yeah. So yeah, so like there are three types of text, like primary, secondary, and tertiary headings. So yeah, you have the primary headings is that what is IEEECS, and to make it look for a secondary heading, you have to keep it a bit medium or regular, and you can also make it to light gray, charcoal gray, so that it looks more decent to the eyes. Charcoal gray is you know charcoal gray color is usually preferred by the users to the to the eyes, so that it doesn't make poke to the eyes. Yeah, so guys, you can catch up on LinkedIn and Twitter, and you can just drop the questions there. Thank you so much. And even if you want any